am Mariko Bolthorn, and this is Uncut News. Before we begin, do you have something you want to leak without revealing your identity? Send us a tip on WhatsApp or telephone number 659-6151. Now for tonight's news. 2 presidential guards went flying high this morning after a strong wind picked up their guard hut and launched them through the air. The 2 chops were guarding Earjock's house in Lenora when the breeze blow and dislodged the hut, sending them flying some 15 feet away from the original position. The 2 were taken to the hospital where they were treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Yesterday, one old man proved that apparently you're never too old to be an abusive idiot. On Wednesday, 70-year-old Fitzrandolph Josiah was sentenced to 11.5 years imprisonment after he confessed to stabbing his 14-year-old stepdaughter, Fenella Samuels, in the face over 21 times. He appeared for the capital offense of murder, but opted to plead guilty to the lesser count of manslaughter. Josiah admitted that on April 24th, 2013, at Plastic City in Vredenhoop, West Coast Demerara, he unlawfully killed Samuels, called Nella. While he was sentenced to 11.5 years in prison, he should be getting out in less than 4 years from now, as the judge deducted for time served. But if you ask me, they should have just let his old ass rot in jail. And in other court news, 26-year-old killer Josiah Meredith has been sentenced to 15 years in jail, 4 years after he allegedly gunned down 25-year-old Gregory Garraway during a robbery. Meredith, another girl's name. Meredith was charged for murder back in 2016, but he opted to enter a guilty plea to the lesser count of manslaughter, which I didn't even know was possible. Anyway, he admitted he shot Garraway outside of Wings and Things on Mandela Avenue in October of 2016. Oh, shucks, that's my favorite place to go for wings. Anyway, in October 2016, after Garraway put up a fight against him during a robbery. He was sentenced to prison, but he will be back in court soon to face another murder charge for an incident that also took place in 2016, because apparently this man is just a career criminal. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's car of the day. Currently on sale is this 2015 Suzuki SX4 S-Cross. It comes with all-grip 4-wheel drive, steering controls, TV, navigation stereo, crystal lights, mag rims, fog lamps, and much, much more. Pay cash for $5.1 million, or pay down as low as $1,020,000 with around $98,000 monthly, and it's yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844, or for more info, visit the showrooms at Lot 171 Peter Rowe Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamar Street, and tell them Rico sent you for this sweet deal. 20-year-old miner Calvor Paul of St. Ignatius Village, Central Rupununi, died last Friday in a mining pit accident. According to reports, the incident occurred at the St. Elizabeth Back Dam in Region 8 while Paul was working in a pit. He was at the time operating a Marrick engine when the pit collapsed, burying him alive under rocks and sand. The family of Answar Stoll of Karuru Linden Highway recently reported him as missing. Unfortunately, he is also feared dead. According to a relative of the man, Stoll was last seen alive on Sunday in Georgetown. But since his disappearance, the family visited his home, which was left ransacked, with bloodstains all over the walls. The keys to the house were seen on the floor, and Stoll's personal documents were missing. Worse yet, the relative complained that the police are refusing to conduct a proper investigation. Unsurprisingly, to say the least. The quarantine man accused of stabbing his wife to death 2 weeks ago turned himself over to the police yesterday. The police have not given the name of the man, who was only identified as the husband of the deceased 35-year-old Ramjati Pooney of 105 Letterkenny Village, Quarantine Babis. Although I don't know why they're keeping the murderous bastard's name secret, but whatever. He was promptly arrested when he turned himself in, and is currently being processed for court. According to family members, she endured years of abuse from her husband, and as such, she actually tried to leave for good on the day in question. They say that may have actually triggered the assault. How sad. We're now in the height of robbery season. If I were you, I would consider getting security for the home of business. I personally recommend Chef Security Service. I find that they are the most professional, with well-trained armed or unarmed guards. Get some security this Christmas, people. Good news for all you cops out there. First, the government announced the beginning of a special housing program for soldiers. Well, now that same program is being expanded to the police force. The program will not only see runks having access to house lots, but it will also help them to qualify for loans, grants, and mortgages. The proposed housing program is expected to commence next year. That's great, but they need to have an exemption. No corrupt cops get any homes. Oh boy, but if they do that exemption, then none of them will get a home. Ha ha! Moving on, it's time for today's Rona Report. Today, the nation recorded 26 new cases. The total number of deaths now stands at 158. There are now 8 persons in the ICU and 644 persons in home isolation. The total number of known cases in the country is now 6,042. So, please, people, wash your hands frequently. Avoid touching your nose and mouth and mask up before you leave the house. When you do leave home, try to avoid enclosed spaces and large crowds, and remember to give 6 feet of space between you and others. Now, let's take a look at news in the region. Only months after producing a new set of $100 bills, and already the police in Trinidad are warning people to look out for counterfeit bills. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is warning the public to beware of possible counterfeit bills over the Christmas period, noting that the new bills contain clear plastic. As such, they are asking Trinis to look out for bills that lock the clear window security feature on the corner of the bill. So that means that if a Trini gives you a paper $100 bill, throw it back in the face. They're cheating you, as always. Check out Cellular Plus and get 50% off this TL3 Pro with a 5.5-inch screen, 32GB storage, and a 5-megapixel camera. Take advantage of this special Christmas offer and get a 30-day Prime Bundle plan with your purchase. Get it now at Cellular Plus for just $12,000. Travelers beware, the US is snatching visas once again, this time in Jamaica. 6 top cops, including a former senior superintendent of police, have been banned from stepping foot in America. The ban included the controversial Renato D. Cordova Adams and 5 other cops who were part of the now disbanded crime management unit of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, along with their immediate family members. Everyone, the wife, the kids, even the dog, none of them will be allowed to step foot in foreign. They are among 17 officials and family members of foreign governments who have been blacklisted for what the United States Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has described as gross violations of human rights. Or, as I like to say, do son Alexa. Anyway, the Jamaicans make up the majority of those on the banned list. Many of the accusations against the Jamaican officers stem from the heavy-handed and, let's be honest, straight-up murderous tactics of the CMU that they used against street gangs in the early 2000s. And now for our weird news story of the day. A goat, a sheep, and 3 lambs paid a surprise visit to a Turkish city hall and trapped municipal workers inside the building, attacking anyone who dared step foot out of there. Nevşehir municipality tweeted a video showing the group of animals wandering around just outside the municipal building and chasing after security guards who attempted to leave. They said, "We have been captured by 1 sheep, 1 goat, and 3 lambs." Animal experts were summoned to the scene and rounded up the aggressive gang. The sheep, goat, and lambs were taken to the rescue facility Animal Town before being reunited with their owner. But authorities are not sure who exactly is the gang leader. Moving on to our Uncut News viewers poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Guyana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. So you give your responses in the comments and we'll read the best ones in the following episode. Yesterday's question was, auto accidents are on the rise. What should be done? Kimmy said, most road users don't take the rules and law serious, which is a big result from the police allowing anything to slide if they get a small raise. It's not just a leaf that needs water, it's starting from the root. Peter said, this problem of bad drivers was solely created by the police because we all know how a driver's license is obtained in Guyana, through cheating and bribery. So, I would suggest that the practice be abandoned and let the police start doing things the right way, as they can clearly see the amount of ridiculous drivers and deaths, and they are overwhelming. Of course, I agree with you. And back from the dead once again to comment is Burnham, who says the police must enforce laws by charging reckless speeding drivers. No bribes should be accepted by police officers. Now, in regards to DUI drivers, they must feel the full brunt of the law. That includes a $500 fine and 1 year's driver's license suspension. Yes, Burnham, I agree with you fully. I might have disagreed with your politics, but I agree with that point. Now, before we get to tonight's question, brighten up the holiday season and decorate your homes with new stock of vinyle, carpet, rubber towel, leatherette, glasswares, doilies, table plastic, rugs, and Roll Runner easy-to-clean carpet. Available in many colors, patterns, and designs to choose from. Beat the rush and enjoy the glorious days of shopping at Ravina's and Anand's. Ravina's and Anand's have unbeatable prices. For fast and comfortable shopping, visit them at Ravina's at 17A Water Street or Anand's at 108 Regent Street. Or you can even call them on telephone number 225-6595. So for tonight's question, I want to get a little nosy. I want to know, have you got your stimulus check yet? I haven't, and they said they were supposed to be done before Christmas, so the clock is ticking. If you have, tell us what village you're in so we can get an idea of where they might be headed next. Don't worry, we won't try to come and chase you down. We're not that crazy. I hope not. I know I'm not. Anyway, tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in Friday's episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight. Check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Enrico Bulford saying good night, folks. Hey, Uncut News viewers, thanks for watching. You can subscribe by clicking on this button over here, or click over there for more news. You can also drop a comment to let me know if you've made it to the end of the video. Goodbye for now.